breaking news, it's Krishnan Guru-Murthy. Lucky Charmer, it's David O'Doherty. And their team captain, John Richardson. And facing them tonight, so good they named her once. It's Jamelia, Paul Party. It's Paul Foot. And their team captain, Sean. Now, welcome your host, Jimmy Carr.
Hello and welcome to 8 out of 10 Cats, a show about opinion polls, surveys and statistics. Did you know, for example, 1 in 8 adults in this country own a onesie? That's great, although I think there's a time and a place for a onesie. The place, your living room, the time, when you're 6. 79% of people enjoy experimenting with their meals, particularly the staff at Findus. And cat owners are 30% less likely to have a heart attack, mainly because their heart's already been broken. Right, let's get started. What are you talking about? That's the name of our first round. It's our panellists' job to guess the British public's top 3 most popular talking points. Sean, Jamelia, Paul, what have the nation been talking about this week?
Well, this week I've counted 86 sheep, about 32 cows, 7 ducks, but I haven't seen a single horse.
None.
So something's going on. The meat scandal.
The meat scandal.
Yeah. The horse meat.
And there's
mad,
like,
isn't
it's sort of rolled on this week, and they're saying it might be deliberate. This isn't just an accident.
Horses throwing themselves into abattoirs.
Apparently, it's criminal gangs have been doing this. Criminal gangs from Poland, Romania and Russia are suspected of orchestrating a conspiracy worth millions of pounds by passing off horse meat as beef. What do you think? What did you...
Well, the whole problem with the story is that it's now screwing with all our notions of what we like. I thought I liked beef, but actually I like horse.
I'm very confused now, you know.
It's getting more ridiculous because now there's donkey is also being mentioned, and the man said yesterday they hadn't yet tested for dogs and rats. And then where do you go after that? Dead relatives, ex-members of Destiny's Child, and the last pope.
Oh, no, this is my favourite quote of the whole thing. This is from the Findus website. They state they use the best ingredients and a generous pinch of imagination. This imagination tastes a bit like a horse.
Is it to do with the decline in arts and crafts?
Tell me more, Paul.
Well, because people are not doing so many arts and crafts, they're not using glue as much. So that's why they're having to put it all in the burgers. So if they could get more children back into crafts, then they could use horses again for their proper purpose, which is glue.
When I saw the whole horse meat scandal, I didn't really care, because I'm not a fan of horses. I've intentionally eaten horse before. It was lovely. I enjoyed it in France.
Intentionally?
Yeah, it was on the menu, and I was like, I hate horses. I'm going to have that. I'm petrified of horses. I've got a horse story, but I don't know if...
What do you mean you've got a horse? Yeah, I want to hear a horse story. What's a horse story? Settle in, everyone.
Yeah, settle in. Right, so when I was 12, my school trip was to London, and we went to see, I think it's called the Queen's Guards, where they're on horses and with the thing. And so all of my classmates were stroking the horse, and then I went to go and stroke the horse, and the man kicked me and said, "Piss off, you black bitch," and made the horse, and then the horse went in front of me.
Sorry, can I just clarify? Was it the horse that said that? If it's a racist horse, then... Now, how weird would you feel about that if there was a talking horse? Wow, this is magical, this is amazing, but he's a racist. Oh, no.
It was like, you know, I'm over the racism, it's not a problem. He got sacked, so it's fine. Honestly, I'm absolutely fine with it.
You've forgiven a racist, but not a horse.
No, I think you make a very good point. Grind them up, put them in a burger.
The problem with meat is that it all looks the same. And what they should do is they should make it like rock. So when you've got beef, it just says cow right the way through it.
You know the cookie cutters you can get? You make different shapes for things. You have like cookies. Just one shape like a horse. So any burgers that are horse, just come in a horse shape.
Wow, if that's the case, I think I've eaten a lot of dinosaur.
OK, let's have a look and see if it's up there. Yes, the most talked about thing. Yes, the horse meat scandal continues. This meat scandal has opened up a real can of worms, or as our Romanian suppliers would call it, a real can of venison. Johnston, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Surely the Pope?
Surely the Pope.
This is a huge story, isn't it?
Well, the Pope sort of woke up on Monday and thought, oh, God, I've got to go to work.
Well, in fairness, he doesn't have to be at work till Sunday.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's not true, because the week that's in it, I think he had to write 1 million Valentine's cards to all the nuns afterwards.
God was not happy at all about this, was he?
No, did you see the lightning bolt?
So this is a picture of the Vatican 12 hours after the Pope resigned.
If the church had any sense, they would have a news story after that saying there was a nun in there doing some paperwork and she's pregnant now.
Why do the popes always start old?
Well, they're talking about the Ghanaian Cardinal Peter Turkson being the next Pope. That's him with Chris Huhne there. You can see Chris Huhne's asking him to take a few points for him.
What I want to know is, if we're going to have a black Pope, when are we going to have a black Queen? No talk of a black Queen, is there?
Keep an eye on Kate Middleton.
Yeah.
That's her. I
don't know what that means.
Explain that one.
Well, I'm saying maybe her baby is going to be black because it's probably not.
The Queen's not elected, is it? No, that's a serious answer.
Yeah, but that's what makes it weird that people choose the Pope. Shouldn't it be someone who something magical has happened to? You know, like you got Jesus, like he was the guy because, you know, you knew... No, I'm just saying, you know that he was chosen by God because he'd done magic things. It should, well, you know...
So you think, what, Paul Daniels? Who are you? Let's have a look and see if the Pope's up there. Yes, the Pope's resigned. Yes, the Pope has resigned. He's going to be difficult to replace. Where are we going to find another paedophile apologist who's also a Nazi? OK.
Can I just do a little disclaimer? Can we just make sure we don't put the bit about me talking about she might have a black baby? I'm really scared of the royal family.
Are you genuinely scared of the royal family?
I'm just scared that they can kill you, they can organise.
Once a decade, they do one of their own. They don't go outside the family.
If Kate Middleton has a white baby, they'll just ignore you. If she has a black baby, they'll have their own problems to deal with.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of questions to ask.
The main worry is not if it's black, it's whether it's ginger. That's the main worry. That's the thing everyone's worried about.
I feel much better now because, like, more of us have said stuff now, so at least...
Sean, Jamelia, Paul, what else have the nation been talking about?
Well, there's been this business in North Korea with their successful nuclear test.
They're trying to build a nuclear warhead small enough to go on a missile, basically.
Okay.
So they miniaturised it. It has a range of 1,000 kilometres, so it could hit Japan or China, but not the US or UK. So if you're watching North Korea, fuck you. Now, if you had access to a nuclear weapon, John, what would you bomb?
I don't think I'd bomb anyone, because then the threat's gone. I'd just carry it around with me. I'm like that.
I'm going to check in on the news now. News. Krishnan, do you think North Korea are a serious threat, or are they laughable?
Well, who knows? They've got nuclear weapons, and they are ruled by a sort of a slightly crazy guy who's got being a psychopath running in the family. So you might say they're a threat. On the other hand, the only people who've used nuclear weapons are the United States.
Unusual for a newsreader, because that sounds there's a bit of bias in there.
No.
You did say he's a psychopath, his dad. You wouldn't say that on Channel 4 News. You go, and we've news about the nuclear test in North Korea from Kim Jong-un, whose dad we all know.
Yes.
You would not do that on the news, would you?
I'm not on the news.
So that's going to turn out bad.
Have you not,
Run for your life!
have you not
Who's the nuttiest person you've had to deal with then?
In the recent future, Quentin Tarantino. Recent past, rather. Quentin Tarantino.
Why did you have a problem with Quentin Tarantino?
He got very cross with me or my questions.
Well, let's have a little look, shall we?
Why are you so sure that there's no link between enjoying movie violence and enjoying real violence?
I'm going to tell you why I'm so sure. Do not ask me a question like that. I'm not biting. I refuse your question.
Why?
Because I refuse your question. I'm not your slave and you're not my master. You can't make me dance through your thing. I'm not a monkey.
I can't make you answer anything. I'm asking you interesting questions.
And I'm saying I refuse.
So you don't want to talk about anything serious?
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. I don't want to talk about the implications of violence. I haven't wanted. Because the reason I don't want to talk about it is I've said everything I have to say about it.
No, but you haven't fleshed it out. That's the only reason.
It's not my job to flesh it out.
No, it's my job to try and ask you to.
And I'm shutting your butt down.
You were so composed.
I didn't know he'd shut your butt down.
Yeah. You have a butt that will not quit. I think that's what Beyonce would say. Like.
Why did that happen then? What did he do?
I think he was in a really bad mood, and he got very angry. And he'd given this quote to a magazine saying, directors don't get better as they get older, they should know when to quit. And I said, so are you getting better or worse as you get older?
Oh, God.
And he said, well, what do you think? And I said, well, I actually like your movies. And at that point, he went, oh, I've screwed up here.
I think I'd still be quite pissed off if someone said, what do you think of my movies? And I went, I actually like them. They're clearly a pile of shit, but for some reason, I love shoveling that shit down my face.
OK, well, we were talking about North Korea. I can tell you that's not one of the most talked about things this week. But North Korea has caused outrage after carrying out nuclear weapons tests. The test was executed perfectly, as were all the people who criticised it. Johnstein, what else have the nation been talking about this week?
Oh, it's been Valentine's Day, hasn't it? I imagine people are talking about love and all that stuff.
Who did you send a Valentine to?
I didn't, no. I view Valentine's Day like the Polish food aisle of a supermarket. I don't really know what it's for, but I like to look at it.
I've been thinking, because they've been talking about different gifts you can give people on Valentine's Day, and the worst gift, apparently, is petrol station flowers. But then how do you know they're petrol station flowers? I mean, you can't actually... unless, of course, they've all been mangled through that night hatch. But that's how they've gone through. But also, it gets a bad press, the petrol station flowers, because if you buy flowers in a florist, there's no petrol, or packets of Maltesers, or anything. So actually, I would rather receive petrol station flowers from someone, because then I would know that I had a discerning lover who shopped at flexible shops.
Valentine's Day, I think, is just too much pressure, and it's for uninventive people. Everyone gives red roses and chocolates. It's like, think of something yourself, like, do something a little bit more creative. Like, to me,
I tried
just
that.
so...
I tried that, but it backfired.
Yeah, because it's rubbish.
What did you try, Sean?
I made a card for my wife/girlfriend lodger, and I made it myself, and she didn't like it.
That's sweet, though. No, that's...
Yeah, but I do.
better.
So what it is, I cut a picture of a heart out of a cigarette packet.
Creative.
On a card.
Isn't that the thing about Valentine's? Valentine's is that time when you can tell people, you know, if you like them. I don't know if do you read Heat magazines? Anyone read Heat magazine?
Is that the magazine that reviews different boilers and legging jackets?
This must be in a way.
I think it's different in the Republic of Ireland. Because they do a thing every year where they talk about people's weird crush. So the number one weird crush, as voted for by the British public, is Russell Howard, which doesn't seem that weird to me. Number two, if you can see that. So you are a weird crush, which is such a terrible backhanded compliment, isn't it? So it's like saying you don't sweat much for a fat girl.
Weird Crush is also John's signature lovemaking style as well.
They sent me a badge. I think it says something on it like, not quite weird enough. I mean, what a chat-up line that is. Lady's just looking for a man who says, I'm mental, but not very.
I can't help thinking, you know, if you look at this panel, there are two people who are single who might get on quite well. And we've got Jamelia.
You're single, right?
Stop me, I'm really embarrassed.
Like a playground now.
Too plenty done.
Yeah.
She does.
You're just not weird enough for me, Jamelia.
Just get on with it. Just, you know.
Get down to business.
I haven't got, yeah.
And it is a business with
girlfriend
me.
every bloody week.
You're going to feel pretty bad when one week I come in and I'm in a relationship and there's nothing to talk about. Me and Sue. Sue and I.
I can imagine you getting into a relationship where you're one of those couples that talk about, well, Sue and I think. Like, even on the show, if she wasn't here, you go, so what have people been talking about this week? And you go, well, Sue and I have been talking quite a lot about beef burgers and
I won't be
Valentine.
doing this show if I have a relationship. I ain't leaving the house, I ain't doing gigs. Comedy's just one bit. I mean, you two are in relationships. You only do comedy because you're not really happy in them.
OK, let's have a look and see if Valentine's Day's up there. Yes, it was Valentine's Day yesterday. It's named after Saint Valentine, the patron saint of awkward meals at Pizza Express. So those were the most talked about things this week. But in other news, Paralympian Oscar Pistorius has been arrested for shooting and killing his girlfriend. Finally, a story Lance Armstrong can read and think, I'm actually not that bad a bloke. So at the end of that round, Sean's team have 1 point, John's team have 2 points. Okay, so next round is pick of the polls. Sean, Jamelia, Paul, pick a question.
Lady with the telephones.
Lady with 2 phones. OK, well, this week, a study found that people look at their phones 150 times a day. So we asked our studio audience, would you describe yourself as a tech addict, yes or no?
Well, I don't feel I have to answer that question, and I'm shutting your butt down. I've answered that question before, and I don't see what you've got a right to talk about. I've said all I want to say on that subject.
But do you think
about it?
But do you think the tech...
I'm not your...
Would you describe
I'm not your slave, and you're not my master.
Would you describe yourself as a tech addict? No, but would you describe yourself as a tech addict? OK. Are you obsessed by technology?
I would have said I was a tech addict. I've been a tech addict all my life, but I'm now getting to this point where everyone is a tech addict and I'm finding it slightly repellent.
My feeling is that we've lost what I call shite talk, which is where 10 years ago an entire evening of conversation could be based around an easily verifiable untrue fact. You know, somebody like, do you remember when Wesley Snipes was in Grange Hill? Yeah, I think I do. And now someone's just like, not true. Hashtag I'm so lonely.
What annoys me is I think people have lost is just the ability to look out of a window on a train. People can't... They sit there looking at old text messages, conversations you've had in the past, because you can't bear to think for a second. Like old people didn't do. They didn't get on a bus with a shoebox full of letters.
I mean, it's all well and good with the fancy things, but to be honest, I got a new Hoover recently with a spectacularly fast cable recoil on it. You know what I mean? And because all of that sort of technology just exists in the realm of wizardry, but then you put your foot on this, yoink, and you're like, future, I like it. I do aspire to once being trapped somewhere with just the Hoover, and then I'd get the plug end, and I'd fire it up like that, and then just hit the button, hold on to it, and Wow.
It's interesting the way they invented that was that someone who was hoovering, needed to get out of there fast. There's a situation where they're hoovering and think, shit, I better get out of here. Bang! Doof, 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 we're gone.
Well, let's get some answers on this. So, would you describe yourself as a tech addict? What do you think our audience said, yes or no?
Yes.
We'll go yes.
OK, so you think our audience would describe themselves as tech addicts? What do you think?
Addicts never self-identify as addicts, so people would say no.
Oh, it's a good answer. I can tell you the answer is no. Only 42% of people would describe themselves as tech addicts. And the winner is the name of our final round. Here's your question. Top thing people boast about.
Do a lot of people go on about being the 1990 East Leinster under-14s triple jump bronze medalist? No, they don't, because that was me.
It's inherently not British, is it? But people, like, it's a very American thing. So, you know, I'm so proud of me. You know, I used to be like, I would have 3 cans of cola a day, and now I got a job. I don't give a shit. The British people, you're boasting in Britain if someone says, how are you? And you go, yeah, I'm really well. You arrogant.
I boast about the fact that I can wear my left shoe on my right foot, my right shoe on my left foot.
Bullshit. There's no way a man could do that.
Yeah, I can, yeah. Look, there we go. It's a nice feeling. You just feel that like, you know, you can do anything you want. You can go any direction you want. You're not bound by the usual rules. Try it with your shoes. It'll work well.
I've done it. Anyone can do it.
You've got to walk around in them a bit.
Have a little walk, just see if it looks
walk
normal.
around in them. Don't wander around.
I'll be honest with you, Sean, it makes me feel a little bit queasy.
Because there's always this thing, whoa, and go around corners.
I was not expecting that.
Yeah.
It's a bit like when you're at...
Go, whoa, yes.
It's a bit like when you're at Clark's and they say, do they fit? And you sort of... Something's not quite right.
People boast about their kids. That's the thing people go on and on and on about.
Do you brag about your kids?
I do down my kids a lot. I tell them how shit they are.
During the news? Actually on the news?
Krishnan, I can tell you the right answer is bragging about their kids.
Oh.
Yes, the top thing people boast about is their kids. I make it a rule never to boast about my kids. The last thing I want is for my girlfriend to find out about them. Well, that sound tells me it's the end of the round and the end of the show, which means the final scores are Sean, Paul and Jamelia have 1 point, John, Krishnan and David have 4 points. They're tonight's winners. Thanks to all our panellists, our wonderful studio audience, and to all of you for watching at home. If you want more, tune in to 8 out of 10 Cats Uncut on Wednesday. That's it from us. Good night. Well, thank you for watching 8 out of 10 Cats. If you want to watch another episode, you know, feel free, or you know, pop to Pornhub for some different kind of fun. Good luck. You can also go to jimmycarr.com and buy tickets to see me live. I'd love that. I'd like it if you liked and subscribed. But you know, don't feel pressured. Do your thing. You be you.